Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Luqman Al-Hakim bin Nasmullah, metric number E24B3520 from the program of Environmental Sustainability Science. Today, I will present my mini project entitled Evaluation of Ambient Temperature and Heat Index Patterns Before and After Extreme Rainfall Events in Badajeli, Kelantan. The study focuses on understanding how extreme rainfall events affect temperatures and heat index conditions. For a brief introduction, I am an environmental sustainability science student. My interest is mainly in climate and weather studies, especially on temperature, humidity, and heat index patterns. This research helped me understand how weather variables interact in real environmental conditions. In the introduction, climate change has caused increasing temperature trends and heat stress issue. One key concept is heat index, which combines temperature and relative humidity to represent how hot it feels. Higher humidity increases discomfort even if temperature is not extremely high. So this study looked at how rainfall events influence these conditions. For the problem statement, most studies focus on heat wave, rainfall patterns, or flood risk separately. However, there are limited studies on temperature changes after extreme rainfall, heat index response after rainfall, especially in Badajeli. So this creates a clear research gap. So the study has three objectives. First, to evaluate ambient temperature before and after extreme rainfall. Second, to analyze heat index variations during rainfall events. Third, to identify temporal changes in thermal conditions before and after the events. Significance and scope. This study improved understanding of thermal conditions in tropical regions. It also supports climate change adaptations and increased awareness on heat stress. The study area is Badajeli using NASA Power Hawali dataset. Variables include temperature, humidity, and precipitations. For the study area, Badajeli is an inland tropical town in Kelantan. It experiences high rainfall and high humidity through the year, so it is suitable for studying both the rainfall and heat index behavior. For literature review, previous study show increasing temperature trends and heat wave in Malaysia. Humidity too plays an important role in heat index and thermal comforts. Kelantan also frequently experience heavy rainfall and flood conditions. So, based on previous literature, most studies focus separately on heat wave, rainfall trends, and flood risk. However, there is still a lack of research focus on how ambient temperature and heat index responds immediately after extreme rainfalls events. So overall, this study addressed that missing link, especially in the context of Badajeli, Kelantan. For materials and data sources, this study used the NASA Power dataset as the main sources of meteorological data. The software used includes Microsoft Excel for data processing, SPSS for statistical analysis, and Python for advanced analysis. The variables involved are temperature, relative humidity, precipitations. All data are collected in Hawali format to ensure higher temporal accuracy. For research design, the study adopts a quantitative, retrospective, and event-based study. The observation window is divided into 7 days before the rainfall events, day 0 which is the event day, and 7 days after the event. This gives a total of 50 days pre-event for analysis. This structure allows comparison between pre-event and post-event thermal conditions. For methodology, the methodology begins with identifications of extreme rainfall events using precipitation thresholds. Next, heat index is calculated using temperature and relative humidity data. After that, data pre-processing is performed to ensure accuracy and remove inconsistency. Then, statistical analysis is conducted to compare pre-event and post-event conditions. This includes both descriptive and inferential statistical methods. For analysis and output, for data analysis, several statistical methods are used. Descriptive statistics to summarize data, pair t-test or Wilcoxon test for comparison, correlation analysis to study relationships. Expected outputs include line graphs, box plots, and scatter plots. Extreme rainfall and heat index. Extreme rainfall events are defined as rainfall exceeding 1 mm and also using the 95th percentile threshold method. Heat index is calculated to represent perceived temperature by combined temperature and humidity. Important concept: delta heat index, delta Hi equal Hi minus temperature is used to show how humidity contributes to thermal discomfort. This is particularly important in tropical climates like Malaysia. For a slide for flowcharts, the research flowchart begins with data collections from NASAPOWER, then data pre-processing and identifications of extreme rainfall events are carried out. Next, heat index calculation is performed, followed by statistical analysis. Finally, results are interpreted by comparing pre-event and post-event conditions. For the Gantt chart illustrates the timeline of this project. It starts with topic selections and literature review, then continues with data collections, processing, and analysis stages. Finally, the project is complete with reports writings and presentations preparations. For the slide research budget, the main costs involve internet access for data retrievals and analysis. Since the NASAPOWER dataset is freely available, the overall cost of this project is minimal. For the slide reference, all references used in this study are properly cited following academic writing standards. They are included in the reference section of the e-portfolio. In conclusions, this study provides valuable insights into how extreme rainfall events influence ambient temperature and heat index patterns in Bandar Jeli, Kelantan. That's all. Thank you.